good evening or afternoon. I mean, it's a podcast, right? So whatever time it is where you are, hi. Tonight, it's normally Circle 3. We have a special, exciting, interesting diversion for you. Tonight, we're outside the circle.
We are outside the circle, and look at these windows.
Outside my box.
Chris Kerns, Paul Blair, videos flipped in Zoom. Let's fix that up. Is that better? That's not right.
If you're one of our valued audio listeners, you've made the right choice, as usual.
What is going on?
What's going on with you?
Not much. You guys, you let me know what's going on with you while I try to figure this out, Paul. The screen looks kind of whack on my end right now.
For those of you listening from home, I am suffering an existential crisis in video. Well, Chris,
fun fact,
wherever you are.
So, fun fact, I until about 10 minutes ago thought we were just gonna kind of kick the show to next week and just kind of shoot the shit together, and then realized, oh, we're gonna do that, but it's still gonna be a podcast. So I'm prime time. I'm ready to roll.
That's right. It's an official Circle 3 shit shooting podcast shuffling date shifting event presented by well, next week.
And now I can say welcome to Circle 3. You are here live with Chris Kerns, Brandon Timney, and Paul Blair. And as Paul mentioned in our intro, this is not a typical Thursday night. It's been a long week for all of us. We thought we'd just kick it tonight. We haven't got to talk lately, so really you guys are just listening to our personal messenger call. We're going to talk some disc golf and talk. Maybe it won't be as crazy. Those get a little lit, especially when Kerns gets loose in those messenger chats. So
What?
What? Kerns, tell us about your outfit tonight. Who are you wearing?
Oh, yes. So, little bit of backstory. First off, I just want to wish everybody, it is April 29th. So some of you may slept on this, but today is National Home in Your Pocket Day. So I hope everyone's celebrating in proper fashion. And today I am wearing Under Armour golf hat and polo, and I call this pattern Championship Floral. And you may not be able to see because mine are oversight on my own part. I have a green screen. So the leaf-shaped invisible spaces, just picture leaves there, and you've got the whole thing. So, yeah.
You're like a flower shop skeleton tonight.
I can dig that.
So, yeah, for those of you who haven't figured it out from our rather indirect messaging, we're moving the normal thing. Tonight's episode is in case anyone showed up live, and we appreciate all one of you, or every one of you, each one of you. Anyway, hi. The next, we're gonna move this live thing where we do the giving away of stuff and the other things that we do to Wednesdays, same time, same channel. Today's not a Wednesday though, and today we had told you we'd do something. So we're mostly here to fill space, which may be true all the time actually, but we try not to highlight that.
Absolutely.
Something I did more of in my college days.
Fill time, fill space. Oh. Which one, Kerns?
All of it.
You can tell it's not an official podcast. I'm not wearing my official podcast hat.
Oh,
yes.
Well, Kerns is rocking all the Under Armour. I'm wearing my Simon Lizotte hat because I'm still buzzing off last night. So for
Brandon, why are you wearing a Simon Lizotte hat?
That's a great question, Paul. Thanks so much for teeing that up for me.
Thought of it myself.
We had an awesome night last night in the Dynamic Discs Virtual Dynamic Discs Open. Last year, when COVID completely shut down the GBO, I was asked to host a virtual version of the event in the Disc Golf Valley app. And really makeshift. We put it together super quick, but a bunch of people had a lot of fun. I think last year we had 200-300 viewers. So it was a really good time. And then this year, Taco got in touch with me from Dynamic Discs, and we were chatting it up. And I ended up running the Dynamic Disc Open again through the Disc Golf Valley app, except this year the developer of the app built a replica. There we go, Paul. The developer built a replica of the Emporia Country Club into the game. So we actually played the DDO at the Emporia Country Club. It was amazing. I had some guests on the stream. Eric McCabe kicked us off. But Simon Lizotte came and hung out with us for almost a half an hour last night. And
that's awesome.
yeah, that's the Emporia Country Club right there. There's Jeremy Rusko's house just on the right. We were throwing discs at it the other day. Sorry, Rusko. It was fun, though. We were doing that because my good friend Josh Eisengruber, who films for Jomez, the Jomez crew's staying in Rusko's house right now. So we put a video of him standing out on the porch. And then we went on Disc Golf Valley and we kept tagging him in videos of us just throwing discs at the house. It was pretty hilarious.
Can I just point out that we've talked multiple times about how, where I am in Oregon, every time I go out to play, it's raining. And here I am in Disc Golf Valley showing it to the camera for these listening at home. And of course, it's freaking raining. I've never seen rain at Emporia in this game, but there it is right now. Hole 1, par 5, and it's just a downpour or fog. There's rain everywhere. It's nasty.
Now that's champ fuel tonight, Kerns. That's like a extra large.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So how many?
It's not a triple. I thought about it.
So like when you get a double in that, is it the same double you're getting in a large, or are they putting more sugar in that? I'm curious.
No, it's the same, but mine has no sugar.
Ooh.
I go with Splenda. I know that might give me some freak cancer, but I choose this. So I still go extra large double with a shot of espresso and Splenda instead of sugar.
Carter, that's a wicked idea. David Carter says in the chat, we should have a Macbeth Group Disc Golf Valley tournament. That would be a blast to organize. I bet we could get a ton of people to do that. Absolutely, David Carter. We'll organize that. That would be a ton of fun.
I've never played. Actually, this is a good question. How does one play this? Is this a phone app?
It's a phone
something
game.
you do on your computer?
You download it from the Apple App Store or from the Google Play Store on Android. Disc Golf Valley. And it's pretty cool. The physics of it are really neat. Like the developer's a disc golfer. And the story behind it, which is kind of neat, is this is a game that he made a couple years ago because he'd been playing disc golf for years and he loved it so much. And it's a game that he made and it sat on the App Store for over a year with thousands of people downloading it. And I mean thousands in like the low thousands. I'm not saying that as like a positive thing. Thousands of people downloading it. And he said last night when I was talking to him, actually, like there were points where he forgot that this app existed in the App Store because he'd moved on with his life and he started doing other things. And then when COVID hit last year, a whole bunch of disc golfers weren't able to go out and play disc golf. And I think everyone went on the App Store and was like, I'm going to try this disc golf app and it sucks. And I'm going to try this disc golf app and it sucks. And then Disc Golf Valley was an app where
does not suck.
It didn't suck. It was more true to life. And what was even cooler was as people started to play it more and adapt it more, the developer started to really get back into it. And he started to get people's feedback and adjust physics. And if you play the game now, like the discs fly like discs should fly. It's absolutely incredible. And it's a lot of fun and it's easy to get into. You don't get to start with any crazy discs, but come out to my events on this channel here on Thursdays and Fridays. You get a distance driver, easy way to get in. But Disc Golf Valley's a blast. I'll get an event set up where everyone from the Macbeth Group, especially people who haven't played, I'll get the developer to set it up with like a nice reward so we can get people going quick and we'll have a good time. But it was a blast to chat to some of these pros on the stream yesterday. Eric McCabe, super cool guy. Simon was amazing. He's super excited to come back from his injury. He was talking last night about how it's been 8 months. 8 months since he's thrown. Oh, Chris Kerns just dropped.
I had to go
off
do not disturb. I'm back.
No worries, buddy. So 8 months, Simon said, until since he's competitively thrown a disc, and we were talking about coming back at the OTB Open, and he said that strategically, being injured and not being able to go 100% based on what he's experienced so far has actually been good for him because he's not aggressively going for everything because he doesn't want to strain the muscles and he doesn't want to be back in the place he was. So he's playing a little bit more conservatively because he's being forced to play conservatively. I think I noticed that in the video of him and Paul playing at Paul's course there, and I think it's pretty cool. So it'll be interesting to see him come back. OTB
It'll be
Open. I'm
interesting to
excited
see
for
if
that.
It'll be interesting to see if he has some new wrinkles to his game.
Some new wrinkles.
Yeah, some new wrinkles to his game.
So where are the
That's
gaps?
a phrase. Yeah, so he'll, if he's had to power it down and go more finesse, are there going to be some different ways that he attacks certain holes? Are you going to see him take some lines that aren't typical Simon lines, but maybe he's scrambling a little better, increasing fairway percentage.
Yeah, and for a player who's already known for taking unusual approaches, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens when you add finesse to that. So
yeah,
it'd be kind of fun if we could have him here to talk about that, wouldn't it?
Well, the good news is he did say he would like to join us on the Circle 3 podcast in
that would be gangster.
The future.
I don't know. Let me check our schedule. We'll get back to him.
I think we could do the podcast on any night if Simon would like to play. And Kiara said in the chat, his video with Macbeth shows how well he can play when he doesn't do crazy stuff. Absolutely. Him throwing those lines that Paul was suggesting he threw were pretty great. And I think that's, based on what he said last night, that's what he's planning to do coming back, is just take a conservative.
Just have Paul caddy for him?
And enjoy playing disc golf. That'd be great, eh?
So, I'd watch that.
So, yeah.
So he's always,
cool.
I think he's got to love just being a showman. I mean, I've only been playing disc golf since 2008. And he's the first person I remember looking up YouTube videos of crazy trick shots. And I remember he was doing it. And then Avery Jenkins jumped on for some trick shot battles. And then Brody popped up in a couple when he was still just ultimate Frisbee. But Simon was that first guy that was kind of a viral disc golf sensation.
I think Simon's the first guy that really understood that to be successful as a disc golfer, he had to build a brand for himself and a brand outside of just playing disc golf. And I think Simon's set for years to come when he doesn't play disc golf, just being a presence for the sport in the media. And he's got a lot of years left in the sport playing too, but he's a hell of an entertainer. I will definitely give him that. He knows how to put on a show, and he's an incredibly kind-hearted guy. I sent the guy a message to say, hey man, would you mind coming on this stream we're doing for Disc Golf Valley? Pear, the developer, was mentioning you might want to. First message back was yeah man, here's my phone number. Having a beer, give me a call.
What was his number?
Yeah, it's 90, yeah. So, but just super cool. And he just made some great comments about how accessible pros should be, because they're real people like everyone else. So a huge shout out to him for doing that. Enough about last night with the virtual Dynamic Discs Open. Spoiler alert, if you guys are watching right now and you do not want to hear us talk about results from the Dynamic Discs Open this week, we'll probably give it about 10 seconds for that delay to catch up, and then we're going to start talking a little bit of the DDO.
And how many people played the virtual DDO?
Oh, thanks for asking, Chris. So last night, our highest concurrent viewer stream was 682 people, which was pretty incredible. But the real kind of cool number for me is that stream has now been viewed 7,600 times. And it's been less than 24 hours since we aired that. So a lot of people came on over the night, I think, that were playing from the EU and the UK to try to catch up on the stream and grab the room code and play along with it, which is really neat. Our subscriber count went up from just over 660 to almost 1,000 now. I think we're at 970, so 30 more subscribers. If anyone's watching now that's not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. You can also go to bit.ly/hopsandheisersub, and that will give you a quick link to subscribe. I think that was enough time after our spoiler alert.
We should still probably we should probably do a spoiler countdown graphic and a little cutesy audio cue and all that professional stuff.
No, screw it. There's no spoilers. There's no spoilers in live sports. They could eat it.
Yeah.
But Discraft Alert.
I like cutesy graphics.
Discraft Alert, folks. Right here on the shirt. Discraft Alert, Mr. freaking Ben Calloway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk about a round today, huh?
Ben Calloway, almost the perfect back nine. And like just
And not even the hot round.
yeah, not even the hot round. We'll get to the hot round after. We'll save that because just talking about the hot round is probably going to be us talking for 15 minutes. I know that. So Ben Calloway shooting almost the hot round with a 14 down. And just absolutely mind-blowing to come in there and have to be on a card with Eagle, with Calvin. And, I mean, I don't think there was any names like that on Ben Calloway's card yesterday. So to see him really come out and shine like that was pretty incredible. Did you watch any of it live today, Kerns?
Yeah, I did watch some today while I was at work. But he's cold and calculated, man. He's a guy that's been a high-rated pro for quite a while. He's from, Iowa? But
Yeah, Davenport, Iowa.
yeah, so apparently he's been one of the top 30 or 40 rated players for a few years, and then this year just decided to commit and say, I'm going on tour. And it's been pretty amazing to watch him. You know, it's one thing being a high-rated pro, a high-skilled player, but then rolling into these cards that you're playing with three other guys that are rated 1050. Their average round's like 12 strokes better than what I shoot. And he doesn't look out of place at all. And he's got a great backhand. He's got a good forehand. He made the par save putt he made on the hole that's got the little shack.
Yeah.
Right short of the basket, and then OB just passed it, and that was probably a 45-50 footer, and he drained it. I mean, if he missed, he was out of bounds. Like, that was gut check time. And when he drained that, I mean, you look at his scorecard, it was just pure fire after that.
Absolutely. And let's talk about some of his stats right now. Like you said, cold and calculated, Kerns. You're not wrong. 90% fairway hits today. 90%. And with the OB at Emporia, to hit 90% of your fairways off the tee, like that is a huge accomplishment in itself. Putting was a little low, 7. So to have that round and only be 72% from circle 1, but 89% from circle 2. So he was banging those circle 2 putts.
That's greens in regulation.
Oh, sorry. That's greens in regulation.
His circle,
90%
his circle 1 was
1.
90%.
There we go. 90%. 75%. He had 3 of 4 circle 2 putts on the day. So you weren't lying about that either, Kerns.
Yeah, and he only had to scramble once. His scramble percentage is 100%. That was hole 12. He had to scramble. That's the only time. So I know the wind was a little lower than usual, but still, you can't take anything away from that 14 down.
It's hard to say that matters much when you got fairways that are 8 feet wide.
Yeah, there was another 14 down out there.
There indeed there was.
Yeah, there was one more 14 down, and he's a guy that I don't know. Have you guys heard of him? Paul Macbeth?
I get confused with him a lot. You know, people say Paul, they think they mean me, but sometimes they mean him. It happens occasionally. He was 9 down on the back 9, though, which I have not done.
I don't usually go 9 down on the front 9 plus the back 9 plus the next front 9. So, hey, Paul Macbeth, 9 down in the back 9 with that big eagle on 5, with the par on 17 that I'm sure he wishes he had back, because with that 10 down in the back 9 puts him within 2 strokes. He's within 3 strokes now, so definitely got a chance
he's gonna be
claw back.
Gonna be chase card tomorrow.
So that's one thing I love about tournaments like the Dynamic Discs Open, 4-round tournaments. I think 4-round tournaments are fantastic. I love that extra round. When I watch ball golf, we'll call it. When I watch golf on TV, that third day moving day is huge. And when that third day, which is supposed to be moving day, is the last day of the tournament, it just feels so unfinished to me.
So 4 days is the right number.
Absolutely. So huge props to the Dynamic Discs Open, and to all the majors that run with this 4-day format. Absolutely love it. Let's talk Eagle McMahon.
take it from three guys that don't put on this tournament. It's the right way for you guys to keep doing it. We know best.
Eagle McMahon parks a 600-foot shot today.
Oh my God.
I thought we were just going to talk
That-
about the human players, but okay, we'll bring him into it.
Oh my God, dude. That roller shot. I puked in my car on the way home. It was a mess. I almost crashed.
And with that fairway miss on 18, he gets the bogey. And without that bogey, he has a 2-stroke lead over Ben Callaway and Calvin Heimberg, who both birdied the hole.
Yeah, it's intense when you can say that. You know, it's like, you dropped the ball, bud. You dropped the ball. You cost yourself 2 strokes, and so you're only in the lead.
It is intense, though. It's crazy how you can play. My point in all this is it's crazy how you can play 2.5 hours of disc golf. You're 17 holes in. You're 14 down over 17 holes. You're like, I've got a chance to tie the hot round, right? To be the hot round.
Mm-hmm.
And one hole, 6 minutes of your life, 7 minutes of your round, drop you 2 strokes. 2 strokes that mean a lot, from a decisive 2-stroke lead to a 3-way tie for first, right? So it's crazy. It's such a game of inches. People see people up by 4 or 5 strokes and they're like, oh, 4 or 5 strokes, 6 holes to go. It's like, man, have you never watched disc golf before? Have you never played disc golf
It can
before?
change in a second. Well, and here's the thing too.
That's-
Eagle yesterday nailed a huge putt on 18 for
Yep.
birdie. So I do wonder if that was maybe in the mix in his mind, because that was deep in circle 2. I mean, that was a long putt.
Yeah. To be fair, though, hole 18 at Emporia is not kind. It's the second. It's playing as the second toughest hole right now, and I mean, that's a hole that, like, after that whole Disc Golf Valley thing live last night, I'm pretty sure that I had dreams about that specific hole. It's hard.
Absolutely is. Let's talk about the hot round, folks. So, hot round of the day goes to the Raptor himself, Mr. Ricky Wysocki, and anyone who didn't have respect for Ricky before is crazy, because Ricky is just seems like such a phenomenal human being from the get-go. But anyone who hasn't gained an immense level of respect for what Ricky's done over the past couple days, it's just absolutely mind-blowing. So, 15 down today, 0 bogeys, 4 pars. Like, absolutely crazy. 13 birdies and 1 eagle.
Yeah, just insane. Slick Rick. And yeah, with what he's got going on right now with the family, I'm a Discraft fanboy. I'm a Macbeth fanboy, but you can't not be a Ricky fan this weekend in my mind. I mean, the guy is just, it's inspirational what he's doing in my mind, because I think of some of the adversity I've had to deal with during or going into tournaments, and it's just kind of like, what's my excuse going to be? You know, not get out there and just give it my best. And, you know, to some degree, I'm sure this might be a good distraction for him, even just to kind of just dive into, you know, what he loves to do the most. But yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I'm a Macbeth fan. I'm a Discraft fanboy too, but I'm going to be honest. It was hard not to be a Ricky fan this year before any of this stuff happened. The way he's been playing this year is it's just phenomenal. And seeing, like, if you want to tell someone like what joy looks like playing disc golf, go rewatch some of Ricky Wysocki's footage this year on Jomez on the Disc Golf Network. The smile on his face after, like, the first time playing with the crowd the other week, like, just the smile on his face acknowledging people, and it's incredible to see how much joy playing the sport of disc golf brings him. And in my opinion, being a Discraft fanboy, I'm rooting on Ricky to keep kicking ass, because that's gotta light a fire for Paul, and that's gotta make Paul want to drive and work harder and burn to get back there and go back to when it was Paul versus Ricky versus Paul versus Ricky, neck to neck at every tournament at the top of that leaderboard. And Ricky had a hot round yesterday, and don't tell me that didn't light a little bit of a fire under Paul today to go out and shoot 14 down.
100%. Yeah, and that rivalry is going to be one of the storied ones in disc golf for decades. You know, I mean, some people talk about how, you know, we're just heading into the era of like the deep talent of, you know, the kids that rate the Tiger Woods type stories, kids that are raised in disc golf coming up. Like Paige Pierce is a great example of that first wave, right? You know, but they're going to look back on the Wysocki and Macbeth battles for a generation or two at least, and I can't wait to see them, you know, as they unfold, because we got a big one brewing tomorrow, and ideally even on the final day.
Absolutely. Yeah, our lead card tomorrow: Ben Calloway, Eagle, Calvin, Wysocki.
And no pressure having Macbeth chasing you. No pressure.
Yeah,
that's never gone wrong.
Here's the chase card. No pressure, guys. Macbeth, Dickerson, Kevin Jones, and Zachariah Johnson. I don't really know Zachariah. That's a newer name for me, but...
So, and Kevin Jones, who went 13 down today. And Zachariah Johnson.
My bad.
Nah, no worries, buddy. Zachariah Johnson is a pretty cool cat. He is an Innova player. And that's a great card, but Kevin Jones was on fire today too, so I'm excited to see both those action tomorrow. And we are the Discraft Macbeth and Pierce Collectors Group. It wouldn't be warranted to not talk about the FPO and the FPO without Paige, as she hangs out and plays some disc golf and hits aces on Innova Traveler baskets in Hawaii.
Yeah, she's buying. I think she's buying property right now. I believe that was what she said she was doing, taking a little break.
That's wicked.
She spends her last few off seasons. She's just hung out in Hawaii, and looks like she's getting a permanent home out there. Kind of amazing.
That's absolutely
good place to land.
Yeah.
But the Katrina Haley battle today, I mean, you know, punch for punch, both ending 6 down for the day. It was intense.
Both ended 6 down on the day. Both 6 down with Haley with 2 double bogeys and Katrina with a double bogey and a bogey. So, like, Haley with the potential to be 10 down just parring those holes is pretty mind-blowing. That's a hot round for Miss King.
That's a hot round for anybody. I mean,
absolutely. And Macy Walker, Macy Walker's a little bit of a story this year. Dynamic Discs player, coming out at the DDO, repping them really well. 3rd place with a pretty clean round from her, and nothing. She reminds me a little bit of Heather Young's play. Not crazy distance off the tee, very conservative, but plays smart shots, keeps a clean scorecard, and I'm excited to see her and Kona round out the lead card tomorrow.
Can't overstate the value of just not making bogeys, you know, and
absolutely.
then par after par will get you home.
Yeah,
in FPO especially right now.
Heather Young coming off a pretty big win for her, and well, for anybody, but I mean that's kind of one of the few, you know, signature win for her, and she's on the chase card, so it doesn't seem much of a hangover from that. She's right back in the mix. But Katrina and Haley have definitely built a nice little cushion halfway through. And the interesting difference between their rounds too is Katrina was 56% C1 putting, Haley was 82%.
And
her scramble rate was a little lower.
Let's talk about Haley's upshots, right? Because she had 0 circle 2 putts.
Yeah, so Haley's
upshots. So I'll just mention that. We won't talk about it.
So her upshots were dialed, absolutely. And like, it's you look at them hitting the greens in regulation too, and
yeah, considering
the scores we're seeing, obviously the second shot was the story today for both Katrina and Haley. So it's pretty phenomenal. They were dialed in, and you're right. It is a big separation. Six strokes for Haley and 9 strokes for Katrina going into round 3. It's gonna be a good day tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. What do you guys think about the coverage? I'm not scared, to be honest, about how I feel. I really miss having Nate Sexton on there. I thought he was just this nice glue that was holding everything together, and it's been interesting the last couple days to me.
Yeah, I like having Philo on there though. I like hearing he's so chill. I like hearing him talk about the game, and
Absolutely.
I mean, I'll always miss some sexy commentary, but Philo's cool to listen to.
Yep, I'm Team Philo all the way. I mean, I love Nate Sexton. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm gonna tune it off when he's turn it off, tune it out, shut it down. I'm not flipping the proverbial channel when he's on there at all. Love him, but I think Philo brings a perspective that, and just like you said, like a calmness that I don't know. I mean, let's be frank. This is the first couple rounds are during the workday. This is background for a lot of us.
Absolutely.
And Philo in the background is pleasant.
Philo is smooth.
Yeah. But I like the dynamic with him and Big Germ.
Oh, absolutely. And Germ's always great to listen to.
And I also
they had a great one today. Oh, what were they saying? They were talking about Chris Dickerson. They were talking about their nicknames for him. And Colleen goes, well, I got one that's a little controversial, and it's Chris Dickentenders. And they're like, oh my God. Philo goes, oh, can we even say that on the air? And Jamie goes, you already know what Jamie said, dude. It was Terry can.
Terry can.
It was so good, dude. It was so good.
I love Jamie Thomas.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
That was a gem.
Amazing.
I didn't do it a lot of justice, but yeah, go back and watch yesterday. It was pretty incredible.
Just the fact that it exists.
The fact you couldn't deliver the punchline, that was good. It's good for radio.
That's when it's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, universe, for that little exchange.
Is anyone paying attention to the NFL draft? I actually am, Carter. So someone asked in the chat, and I'm only paying attention because there's been some reports today that my team, the New Orleans Saints, are trying to trade up into the top 10 to draft a quarterback, which we desperately need because my man, Drew Brees, number 9, he has retired. So yes, Carter, I'm paying attention to all the hype right now. I want to see my Saints trade up, and yeah, I don't know if they did trade up. Has the draft already happened? Have picks already been made? I'm not following it that intently, obviously, because I think the draft has probably already started. So, when's the?
Yeah, I'm a Lions fan, so there's your answer. Doesn't matter who we draft; they won't be on the team in like 2 years.
I've got a funny Lions thing for you, Kerns, and it's kind of like actually. You know what's crazy about this? What a podcast segue. It's Lions and Saints, Reggie Bush. Like, buddy, our common bond is Reggie Bush. I never even thought about this before.
Nice.
You got to get a Reggie Bush jersey. I got a Saints one. You need a Lions one. Anyways, I was reading this article talking about NFL jerseys and how players
2 dudes, 1 bush.
Players make a $2 residual on every jersey they've ever sold, and the player they profiled was Reggie Bush. And when Reggie Bush moved over to, did he go from the Lions to the Saints or the Saints to the Lions?
Saints to the Lions.
So when he came from the Saints to the Lions, he was number 25 on the Saints, and he wanted to move to be number 6 on the Lions. And the Lions made all these jerseys with Reggie Bush as number 6. They printed them all out, and then the league declined it. So they had to sell all these cheap-ass jerseys of Reggie Bush as number 6, and then reprint all the jerseys as Reggie Bush as number 25, and sell those. So Reggie Bush, since retiring, has made like $6 million in residual just off of his jersey sales. Still.
That's incredible.
And I was
That'll pay for your hard work.
You're right. That'll pay
like
to trim
$10
his bush
of that
all day. I bet his bush
$10 of that was Lions jerseys.
$10 of that was Lions jerseys. The rest were Saints.
Oh God, we have the worst team.
Oh man, do you watch football at all, Paul? NFL football?
Sorry, as a Cincinnati Bengals fan since the time I was born, I beg to differ.
Yeah.
Oh really?
You have the. I mean,
are we gonna go down that road?
I think the bottom line is we both live on that street.
I don't know. We're pretty dedicated in Detroit to saying we have it worse. I think only the Browns have it worse than the Lions.
Are you done?
I can go on.
So I know you can. I've heard Detroit fans do that quite a bit. But welcome back to Circle 3.
It's almost got dark.
So
It's
three
almost
things I think
real.
we can agree on. 4 things. The virtual DDO thing was awesome. The coverage on disc golf is getting better and better, and them trying new people and shifting things around is fantastic. The Lions suck and always will. And that's all we needed was that last
And
one.
Cincinnati
and
sucks almost as bad.
almost as much. And the Philadelphia Eagles have the worst fans. Yep.
No, haven't you seen the movie Invincible, bro?
I have here. All I'm going to say is I lived in Green Bay for 3 years. Okay, so I'm a Packer fan. Bengals first, but Packers are there, and that is a wonderful, welcoming, inviting community. Like you got to understand, like the entire when I lived there, you could put almost the entire population of the city in the stadium. Like it seats 80,000. The population was like 105,000. This is a town that it's got football going for it. It's got some other issues, but the point is, we never had problems with people coming to town. This is a town where the airport is only a Class C airport because 8 days a year you have so many planes flying in for games. All right, this is a football town. The only time there were ever like fights in the parking lot of Lambeau was when the Eagles came to town. And you know who they were fighting with? Each other. That's all I'm going to say.
Philly.
Interesting.
Well, guys, it's 9:30. I know I want to spend some time with my wife. I'm sure you do too, Kerns. And we all need to spend some time with our family. I've had a long week. I know you guys have. Really quick before we leave, you playing a tournament this weekend, Chris?
I am not. So I am actually helping with a featured event here in Michigan, the Wolfpack Discs Open.
Wicked.
One of our sponsors on the podcast. Yep, it's presented by Washoe County Glow, which is my home club.
Watch out, Chris.
And so I'll be hanging out. Yeah,
It's coming for you. It's coming.
got some Tour Series Luna defense. So yeah, I'll be hanging out with Scott Sproul and Brian Wolf all weekend. And then actually the weekend after, we have the Lower Peninsula Open, which is an A tier, and I'm one of the tournament directors for that. But on Thursday, our buddy Brad Schick's going to be in town. I think him and I are going to go get a practice round in.
Oh, hell yeah. That sounds fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool era to be, you're helping with the tournament and it's full, right? I mean, it's probably been full since minute 1. So you don't have to say like, come sign up or just stop by. Because no, it's good. We're done.
There's been a waiting list for months. This weekend, 144 people, split day.
Yeah.
And then there's the weekend after, 312 people.
So this is a good time to point out, if you're the type of person that enjoys strategic planning meetings and interfacing with the public, we need more tournaments. There's just not enough of them.
Hell yeah.
So find your local course, go to your local school, do something, get out there, ask people around how they did it in the past. There's always that guy, right? There's always the guy in the course who's like, well, I used to host a tournament 25 years ago. Get him back in there.
You know what we need though, Paul? What
do we need?
We've got a lot of players who think they're a good enough player to give a clinic to other players to teach them how to play disc golf when they are not. Why don't we have Why don't we have great TDs who are willing to give clinics to players who want to get engaged in the community? And that's something actually we've started to do here, and it's an initiative a local TD's put on. And he actually ran a TD clinic. He spent a day on Zoom with a whole bunch of people sharing spreadsheets he uses and strategies he uses to run his tournaments and how he structures payouts and how he gets sponsors and money from the community. And I just thought that was so cool. And that all originated from someone complaining about there being a lack of tournaments on Facebook. Someone said we need more TDs. Someone said I need to know how to be a TD. If someone can teach me how to do it, I'm down. And
that's awesome.
A bunch of people came out, and I think that's huge. So if you're a local TD, honestly, ask your community if you can be involved, and if there's anyone that wants to. And I guarantee you, people will come with bells on to come out because they want to be involved. They want to get stuff moving and pass on some of that knowledge. Let them know how you do it. Point them in the direction of the right people. Maybe even assist them, from the side. So it's a really good place to be where you have the kind of experience that you can pass on to other people. And this isn't a shot at the older people in the community, but don't be a gatekeeper. don't be someone who is there to prevent other people from taking the sport to the next level because you're so used to getting all the credit. And I've dealt with a lot of people like that in our community, and I try to have super real conversations with them where I level with them with the fact that I'm not here to take credit from them. I'm here to help build and grow this amazing sport that we all love so freaking much, right? So if you're in that position to deny people the opportunity to grow the sport, then it's all wrong. Take that position you're in and use it to help grow future TDs and people who can go and make signups more accessible so that people have more tournaments to play in. New tournaments, they don't have to be sanctioned. They don't have to be PDDA sanctioned events. Just help these people run some events, get some experience under their belts, and have a good time.
Yep. That's Circle 3's rule for life tonight, is if you're willing to complain, you got to be willing to help.
Speaking of American heroes, John Vargo is an American hero for sending me this Tour Series Luna.
I wish I had it.
For those listening at home, Chris Kerns is a lucky bastard.
Yep.
John Vargo also just sent me, and it is safe in New York. It arrived there yesterday. A beautiful stock run. It's probably the nicest stock run Onyx I've ever seen in my life, with the pink hard foil, and it has maybe the most burst I have ever seen in a disc on Ridiculous Buy It Now Day. I've seen people on a real Ridiculous Buy It Now Day, and this is a day in our group, folks, that we're all a part of, where we post discs. They're supposed to be for ridiculously high prices, but it usually just turns into a love fest where people end up giving a whole bunch of stuff away to their friends, and it's awesome. Anyways, John has been offered, I think, $225 for that stock Onyx before on some of these days, and he posted it up to me for $25. So John Vargo is an American hero. Absolutely, Kerns. There are no truer words.
Do you know what John Vargo sent me? Nothing. I don't think he knows who I am, but I'm looking forward to the day he does, because it sounds good.
He knows now.
Shout out John Vargo.
Also, shout out to the Discraft Macbeth and Pierce Collector group for supporting our podcast and helping pay for us to
listening to
broadcast. I can't remember what it was that
you guys
Brandon,
are keeping the podcast on Apple Music, on iTunes Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. We have to host the podcast somewhere. That hosting service costs money, and you guys raised us a ton of money with the purchase of our wicked Macbeth and Pierce Collectors Group hoodies. So we used a little bit of that to pay our yearly subscription for Podbean, and for that we are so thankful for all of you guys.
Yeah, we can't afford it because we spend all our money on discs and hoodies.
Yep. Like this Brandon's favorite foil, the taxi
New York
cab.
Cabbie. Oh, dude.
Also, a shout out to discs with windows in them.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Which for the audio listeners isn't going to make any sense, but
I love that Gannon. That's an Undertaker.
Oh, that's so nasty.
It's actually, this one's in my bag now, so
I love it.
Yeah,
that's right where it belongs.
Absolutely. You got to throw the pretty ones, folks. If you're a collector, good job. But if your bag doesn't look like you collect discs, what are you doing? Where's your joy?
It's funny. I recorded a video. Me and Kim were out throwing that Traveler Luna last week, and I had my Crystal Sparkle Malta in my bag, and beautiful with the lore die. And Kim didn't say it, but someone else we were playing with was like, "You're gonna throw that? You're actually gonna throw that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna throw it on the first hole." I was like, "In fact," and I videotaped it. I just took it and I baseball pitched it into the closest tree, probably maybe 12 feet in front of me. I just threw it as hard as I could at the tree. I was like, I got to throw it now. So Robert Hughes, okay? This guy's a little controversial on the Macbeth page. I got to give him a shout out though, because Robert Hughes posted the first video I've seen of someone legitimately throwing his 1000 rated Get Freaky. So kudos to you, sir. That is what a true stud does as well. So shout out to Robert Hughes for throwing that 1000 rated Get Freaky. I mad respect for that.
Nice. It's like my St. Jude Luna.
Hell yeah. Don't even
and
play
the
it
matching
up like that,
fierce. Come
Don't
on.
even play it up like that. My misprint St. Jude Luna.
Yeah.
And the matching misprint fears. Yes, we all know. You're good job. Okay, well, that's circle 3 for tonight, folks.
That is circle 3, and it's been so much fun talking to you guys tonight. I missed you guys. It's
This
nice
has
to
been
catch
great.
up.
Yeah, no, this has been fun. I mean, especially for me. I mean, I somehow didn't know we were doing this till 5 minutes before. So
Surprise.
And
And we will
Yeah.
be back next week on Wednesday,
on Wednesday
with an actual guest. Yeah, so.
And we'll
You'll
tease
get
it. I
to-
actually think we're going to have Mr. Chris Pickwell here on Wednesday next week. And we should be calling him Dywell Dies. He's going to come out and for our visual listeners, our listeners who are watching on YouTube, he's going to put on a little bit of a dye clinic. Shows us how he prepares a dye bed. For our listeners on the podcast, it's going to be just as interesting for you because Mr. Paul Blair is going to give you a descriptive audio narration of Chris Pickwell's dyeing process. And
It's going to be an episode to die for.
To wrap up tonight, in support of National Poem in Your Pocket Day, I've got a poem for you, Chris Kerns. It's called
Oh, no.
oh my
it's called
God.
My Missing Shoe. Here we go. Hold on. Sorry. I looked for you by the front door, under my bed, on the bathroom floor, near the back stairs, in the drawer with my socks, next to the table, and out in the sandbox. My mother's calling me, and I'm calling you. Where have you gone, my missing shoe? Thank you.
It's so sad. Oh my gosh, that's a story of heartbreak.
Thanks, man.
That was nice. Dude. That was
It's probably
clutch.
how Ezra felt about his crock pot the other night when it wasn't working. Pretty happy that that thing got back up and running. We didn't even give him a shout out. A huge shout out to Ezra. We feel for you, man.
That's for
Having
next
to-
week's news
Oh.
segment.
Next week's news, teaser for next week's news. Honestly, though, we feel sorry. Having to withdraw from a tournament because of food poisoning can't be fun. Teaser for next week. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And we'll see you live next week on the Circle 3 podcast. For Brandon, Chris, and Paul, have a good night.
Big holiday next week. Buckle up.